Hello students, welcome back to online class. Today we'll discuss about conditional statements, iteration and string manipulation in Python. Conditional statement. The if statement is the conditional statement in Python. There are three forms of if statement. Number 1, simple if. Number 2, the if else statement, and number 3, the if elif else statement. So these are the three different types of conditional statement available in. Now we will see one example of simple if statement. The if statement tests a condition, and in case the condition is true, it carries out some instruction and does nothing in case the condition is false. Now we can follow one syntax. If, after that you have to provide the condition, then you have to give the statement according to your given condition. So example, if amount greater than 1000, discount equal amount into 0.10. That means what? If your inserted amount is more than 1000, then we will get the discount as 10%. We can provide 10% into 10 by 100 also, or we can write like this way also. Both is okay. Now another example of if statement. So here we can see one program to find out discount if the amount is more than 10,000. So price equal float, input enter price, then QTY equal float, input enter QTY, QTY for quantity. Next AMT for amount equal price into QTY. That means we will find out the amount by multiplying price into quantity. Print amount, then AMT, it will just simple print statement. Next here is the main thing, the condition. If amount greater than 1000, then discount equal amount into 0.10, that means 10%. So print discount equal disk, that means that disk variable, that is the main variable which is going to hold the value or the answer. So we need to give that particular variable only with the print statement where we want to represent our main value or the answer. Now we will follow second example, if else statement. The if else statement tests a condition, and in case the condition is true, it carries out statement indented below if, and in case the condition is false, it carries out statement below else. So here is the syntax. First we need to provide the condition along with if, then the statement, then if, then statement and the condition accordingly. So here is a example, if amount greater than 1000, discount will be 10%, else discount will be 5%. That means if it is not 1000, so in that case it will be 5%. That means what? Less than 1000. Basically if and else is doing what? If will see the condition and accept that particular condition, rest of the thing will go against else. Example of if else statement. So we can follow one program to find discount 10% if amount is more than 1000, otherwise 5%. That means any amount less than 1000 will be able to receive 5% discount. So price equal float, input enter price. So we have given the data type as float, that means the user can be able to provide decimal values also. Next QTY equal float, input enter QTY. Here also same rules will be applicable, decimal values are welcome. Amount equal price into QTY. So we will find out the amount. Print amount, then amount, print statement. Here we will get the amount after multiplying price and quantity. If amount greater than 1000, disk equal amount into 10, that means the 10%, we will print the discount. Else if your amount is not more than 1000, that means less than, so in that case amount into 0.5, that means 5%, and then we'll print it the discounted value. We can follow block 1 and block 2. In case of block 1, it will be executed in case the condition is true. That means if your inserted amount is more than 1000, then only block 1 will be applicable, otherwise less than 1000, then we will consider for the block 2, means else part. Now if elif statement. The if elif statement has multiple test conditions, and in case the condition 1 is true, it executes statements in block 1, and in case the condition 1 is false, it moves to condition 2, and in case the condition 2 is true, it executes statement in block 2, so on. In case none of the given condition is true, then it executes the statements under else block. So that means elif will work inside of if condition only, then it will move to else part. Now follow the syntax of elif. If condition 1, then statement according to condition 1. Elif condition 2, then the statement according to condition 2. Then elif condition 3, then statement also according to that. Finally continuing the process, and then else part, then statement according to the given condition. Example of if elif statement. We will find out the example with the help of a small program. To find out discount, which is 20% if your amount is more than 3000, and the discount will be 10% if your amount is less than or exactly 3000 and 1000, otherwise 5%. That means what? If your inserted amount is above 3000, you will be able to get 20% discount. If your inserted amount is less than 3000 and above 1000, that means in between 1000 to 3000, then you will be able to get 10% discount, otherwise you will get 5% only. So here is the example according to the program. Price equal float, input enter price. QTY equal float, input enter QTY. Amount equal price into QTY, then print amount. That means here we will get the exact amount. Now we will move ahead for the condition. If amount greater than 3000, discount equal amount into 0.20, that means 20%. Then the print statement for discount. If amount greater than 1000, then discount equal amount into 0.10, that means 10%. Then print discount. Else discount equal amount into 0.5, and the print discount statement. So now here we'll get 3 blocks. So block 1 will be executed in case condition 1 is true, that means if your amount is more than 3000. Block 2, it will be executed in case condition 2 is true, that means your amount is above 1000 but not above 3000, within 3 to 1000. Else, this is for the block 3, will be executed in case both the condition 1 and 2 are false. That means when the user will provide an amount which is not above 3000 also, as well as 1000 also, that means below 1000. Example of nested if statement. Here is an example of the program. Find the largest of 3 number x, y and z. That means over here in this program we will get 3 different value as well as the number, and we will find out the largest one among these 3. So here is an example. X equal int, input enter num1, then y equal int, enter num2, then z equal int, input enter num3. So we have assigned 3 different variable along with their data type. Now the condition, if x greater than y, if x greater than z, then we will consider that largest will be x, because whenever we need to compare 3 numbers, so that time one number needs to compare with the other 2. So we have compared x with y as well as z. So if x is more than y and more than z, then automatically x will be the largest one. So that's why you have assigned largest equal x. Else largest equal z. Now else part, if x greater than z, then largest will be x, else largest will be z. Then finally print statement, print largest number, largest. Now we will discuss about loop. It is used when we want to execute a sequence of statement for a fixed number of time. Syntax of for statement is as follows: with range function and with sequence. These are the 2 syntax for statement. Now we will discuss about for loop. Syntax is for, then you have to mention the variable, next the range, then within bracket we have to mention the starting value, ending value and the step value. Syntax 2 for variable in sequence statement to repeat. This is the example of. Now the range function, we will discuss how it will work. So range 1 comma n will produce a list having values starting from 1 to 3, and it will move up to n minus 1 number. That means if we provide any number in case of n, then from 1 to 3 this way it will move up to that number. Next one, the default step size is 1. So in between the size or the gap is 1. It is by default. We can maintain this as per our requirement. Now follow that example, range 1 comma n comma 2. That means here we are giving the step value as 2. So it will produce a list having values starting from 1, 3, 5. It will move up to that mentioned value and it will be n minus 1, and over here the step size is 2. So that means first it will print 1, then 3, then 5, like this way it will move on. Now here we can discuss some of the example. If we mention range 1 comma 7, it will produce the output as 1 2 3 4 5 6, like this way. If we mention 1 comma 9 comma 2, then it will provide the value 1 3 5 7, like this. Then range 5 comma 1, then minus 1, then it will move backward, that means 5 4 3 2 1. And if we mention only 5 with range, then it will produce 0 1 2 3 4. For loop implementation, sum equals 0 for I in range 1 comma 11, then print I. Sum equal sum plus I, print sum of series sum. That means what? Here we are using the for loop example. So for I in range 1 comma 11, that means the range is actually from 1 to 11. We need to print I one by one. When the loop will run, I is going to be print, and then sum will be sum equals sum plus I. That means each and every I value is going to be add on itself. So here we can see the example. The output will come as 1 2 3, like this way it will move up to 10, and finally it will show the result as 15. If we add on 1 plus 2 plus 3 this way, it will give us the final result as 55 up to 10. Another example, sum equals 0 for I in range 10 comma 1 minus 2, then print I, sum equals sum plus I. So print sum of the series sum. So output will be 10 8. It will show that output in backward, and it will stop in 2, and then sum will be displayed as 30. Now we will discuss about a program to check a number for prime. So we are having two different methods. So both the method we will discuss one by one. So method number 1, num equal int input enter num, flag equal 1. So over here flag will perform as a boolean operator. That means flag on for true, flag 0 for false. So flag equal 1 for I in range 2 comma num by 2 plus 1. If num mod I double equal 0, flag equal 0. Break if flag double equal 1. So print it's a prime number, else it is not a prime number. So I in range and 2 comma num by 2 plus 1. That means what? We will start the number sequence from 2 only, and whatever the number provided by an user, it is going to be divided by 3. And in case num mod I double equal 0, in case if the number which was mentioned by an user divided by I, and if there is no remainder, then flag will be 0. Then the program will stop. If flag double equal 1, that means if the flag value is not 0, that time it will print prime number, else it will print it's not a prime number. Method 2, using loop, num equal int input enter number for I in range 2 comma num by 2 plus 1. If num mod I double equal 0, print it's a prime number, else it's not a prime number. Note, the else clause of a loop will be executed only when the loop terminates normally, not when break statement terminates the loop. This is the main difference between these two methods, termination of. Now we will discuss about nested for loop. For I in range 1 comma 6, print for j in range 1 comma I plus 1, print within double inverted. We can provide any particular sign, then end equal double inverted. So it will produce the output like this way. Now we will discuss about while loop. It is a conditional loop which repeats the statements within itself as long as the condition is true. The general form of while loop is while the condition, then you need to provide the statement. Loop body, this statement repeated until the condition become false. Example of this while loop: k equal 1, sum equal 0, while k less than equal 4, it will print k, sum equal sum plus k. Finally, it will print the series as sum. Here we can see the output 1, 2, 3, 4, and the sum of the series is. While loop implementation: program to find digit sum and program to find reverse. So both the program we will discuss one by one. So program number 1, to find the digit sum. So num equal int input number, ds equal 0, that means that digit sum short form, while num greater than 0, that means when the user will provide an positive number. So digit sum equal ds plus num mod 10, because we need to extract the digit, that's why it is mod 10. Num equal num by 10, so the remainder we need to divide and we need to extract the next digit, then print digit sum comma ds. Now the second program, to find it reverse: num equal int input number, reverse equal 0. Whenever we need to find out any kind of reverse of a number, so we need to assign that reverse variable with 0 only. 0 helps to hold the blank space. While num greater than 0, that means when we will provide a positive number, so digit equal num mod 10, extracting the digit, then reverse equal reverse into 10 plus d. Next, num equal num by 10. So whatever we will get in digit, so the reverse value is going to multiply with 10 and then the digit will add on. So over here our reverse value was 0, so 0 multiplied 10, it will be 0 only, and 0 plus d means what? So the digit is going to add with that 0. Whatever the remaining number was there, that number will be divided by 10, and then we will continue this reverse method. Then again we will multiply reverse with 10 plus the digit. So that means whatever the reverse value was stored in the first step, it's going to multiply with 10, and then after dividing the number by 10, whatever the digit we will get, we will add on directly. So this way we can be able to do the reverse of our number and digit sum of the number. Now we will discuss about string indexing. It is one of the most important part of string manipulation in Python. A string can be traversed both sides. That means we can be able to move inside of a string both the side, left hand side also, right hand side also. Example, let t equal welcome, then the indexing will be as under following. We have given the string as welcome, so here we can follow it within the box. So this welcome, this is going to be known as an element, and on top and the bottom we can follow some numbers I've mentioned. So these numbers are actually what? These are actually index. One thing you need to remember, that index we can do either in positive, either in negative. If it is in positive, that means definitely we need to follow the index from the left hand side, that means the starting position, and in case of negative index we need to follow it from the right hand side, that means the last character or the last element. In case of positive index, it will start with 0 always, it is mandatory, and in case of right hand side index or negative index, it will start with -1. So we can see the example, t2 will give L and t minus 2 will give M. That means what? We can see one example. If we need to find out the index position of 2 in case of plus, so we will get the output as L, because W is in 0 position, then E in the first and the L in second. And oppositely, in case of -2, so the second last element will be M. So that will be our main output. And in case of t0 will give the output as W, and t minus 1 will give the output as E. Now basic string operation. So number 1, string concatenation operator. With the help of the string concatenation operator, users can be able to join two string and two number together as a string. We can do this with the help of plus sign. So the plus operator create a new string by joining the operand string. So see the example, hello and students. The result will be hello students. 11 plus 22, but see the difference, this number are within inverted comma. So that means what? This integer is actually converted to string. and it will give us the output as 1122. It will not give the output as 33. It will show the output as 33 when it will be a simple number, but now we have converted the number to a string. Next one, double inverted a plus double inverted 5. It will give the output as a5. Next example, 123 plus abc, it will give 123 abc. Next one, a plus 5, it will be invalid. Why invalid? Because a is within double inverted, that means a string, but plus 5 without any kind of inverted, that means 5 is a number. So according to the rule, we cannot be able to add a number and string together. Same kind of data type we can be able to join or apply concatenation. Note, both the operand must be string to solve this problem. Now the second example, string replication operator. That means that multiplication sign. That multiplication or the replication operator, when used within a string, then it gets a new string, that is a number of replication of the input string. Example, xy into 3 will give xy, xy, xy. That means we can be able to multiply xy thrice. Next, double inverted 3 into 4, so that means the string is 3 and we need to multiply it 4. That means it is the actually purpose replication operator. It will replicate. Next, 5 into double inverted comma 7, it will be invalid because we cannot replicate two string together. So over here, to solve this problem, operand must be one string and another membership operator, in and not in. In, it returns true if a character or substring exists in given string, otherwise false. A in Rajat, it will give true because in Rajat A is available. Next, RAJ, Raj in Rajat, it will also give true. Next, 67 in 1 2 3 4 will give false because in that sequence 67 is not available. Next is not in. Not in returns true if a character or a substring does not exist in the given string, otherwise it will be false. A not in Rajat give false because we have given the command not in, but A is actually in Rajat, so automatically the answer will be false. Raj not in Rajat, it will also give false. 67 not in 1 2 3 4, it will give the result as true. Odd and CHR function. So odd function, it gives ASCII value of a single character. So odd A 97, odd Z 90, and odd O it's 48. So that ASCII value will be depend on their character position. Character position means whether it is uppercase or lowercase. Next is CHR function. It is just opposite of odd function. In case of odd function, against the character it will give the number of the value, and over here char function, against the number it will give the character. String slice. So string slice, part of a string containing some contiguous character from a string. Let the word is welcome. So where we will find out that how we can be able to apply string slicing, so it will clear our doubt properly. So if the question is given that what, then 0:7, the meaning of colon is what? The left hand side of the colon belongs to the starting position and the right hand side it is for is ending position. So when it will show the starting and the ending, and we need to follow the index accordingly. So in case of 0:7 will give us the entire output, that means the full welcome will be printed, because if we follow the example in welcome we are having the index value from 0 to 6 only, and over here we have asked to display from 0 index to 7th index, so that's why automatically we can be able to print our entire text. Next option we have, that is 0:3, that means from the 0 index to 3rd index, so that means one by one we can be able to print. So WEL, one thing you can be able to ask over here, sir, we have showing that 0 to 3, but we are supposed to print C also, but we are showing only WEL, then where is C? Actually the thing is that in case of the ending position, we need to stop against the last step. That means the last index value is mentioned over here as 3, so that means what, we need to stop one step before the last index. That means according to the element wise if we follow, so we will print only 3 elements, but index wise we need to follow in the 3rd index beforehand only, that means in the 2nd index. That's why WEL. Next one is what? 2:5. So it will start from second index and then third and then fourth. It will not go to print number 5 or the fifth index. So in that case the output will be LCO. Next one is what? -6, then colon, then 3. So -6. So -6 means it will start printing or showing the result from -6th position only, and then it will move towards right hand side. That means it will move left to right. So -6, then -5, then -4. Next, what? Starting position is empty, backend, then the colon, then 5. It will give WELCO. That means when starting is not given, that means it will start from the beginning only and it will up to the fifth index. Fifth index means element wise we will print 5, but index wise will stop at fourth index. Then what? Starting is 3, ending is nothing. That means it will start printing from the third index only and up to the end, because the ending position not mentioned. String function and method. String dot capitalize. It gives the copy of string with its first character capitalized. Example, if T equals Suresh Raina, then R equal T dot capitalize will create a copy of string in R as R equals Suresh Raina. And if you follow, then you can see over here S and R become transferred to capital due to the string dot capitalize. String functions and method. String dot find. We will follow it now. It returns the lowest index in the string where the substring is found with the slice range of starting and ending. It returns -1 if substring not found. Example, we are learning string. Strings are used in Python. K equals string. T dot find K. It will give 16. That means the index number of K. T dot find K, 20. It will give the output as 25. It is also the index number. T dot find K, 20, 30 will search from the index 20 to 30. In between 20 to 30th index, it will search the character K. T dot find hello. It will give -1 as string is not found, because our mentioned string we have not given that hello option, because we have given only we are learning string. Strings are used in Python, so that's why hello is missing, and due to that it will give the output minus. String functions and method. String dot is a num. So it gives true if the character in the string are alphanumeric, that means alphabet or number, and there is at least one character, otherwise it will give the output as false. Example, T equal hello 123, then T dot is a num, it gives true. Next, hello 123, in between space is there, then T dot is a num, it will give the output as false. String dot is alpha, that means it gives true if the character is in string or alphabet only and there is at least one character, otherwise false. See the example, hello 123, then T dot is al num will give false, then T equal hello, then is al num, it will give true. String functions and method. Next option, string dot is digit. It gives true if the character in the string are digit only and there should be at least one character, otherwise false. Example, T equal hello 123, then T dot is al num, it will give false, and T equal 123, it will give the result true. String dot is lowercase. This function gives true if all letter in given string are lowercase, otherwise it gives false. Example, if T equals Sunday, then T is dot lowercase, it will give true because Sunday is in lowercase only. If T equals Sunday, then T dot is lower, it will give false. String dot is uppercase, it will give just opposite result of lowercase. In that means over here it will find out or check whether that string or the character in capital. String dot is a space, so it gives true if there are only white space, means the blank space or character in the string, otherwise false. If T equal just only double inverted, that means blank space, then T dot is space gives true. If T equal double inverted space S, then T dot is space will give the output as false. String upper, this function will give a copy of the string converted to uppercase. So see the example, T equal Sunday 12, Sunday sun in capital, day in lower. So x equal t dot upper will store Sunday 12 in full capital. String dot lower, it will just give the result opposite of upper. Length string, this function gives the length of a given string. That means it will help to find out the number of character available in that particular string. See the example, length top brand, it will give the output as 9. If we count including the white space, it is containing 9 characters. For loop with a string. Example 1, for character in hello, print ch. So output will be hello in vertically. Example 2, t equal hello, for ch in t, print ch, output will also be hello. Another for loop with a string. Example t equal hello, len t, for I in range len, print ti. So that means depend on the range, it is going to be print one by one. Same thing we can see in the right hand side. Second example, hello, then len t, for I in range 0 comma len, that means 0 index to length, it will move, then print ti. That means that t variable index wise it is going to be print, and here is the result. Both the result is. Thank you for watching my video. Hope you enjoy it.